The first hospital in Nigeria, the first school in Nigeria were established by the missions. The government took over the schools. And those days, education and morality we are inseparable. In fact, where I come from, if you don't go to church on Sunday and go to school on Monday, they will punish you. Okay. So morality was an integral part of our curriculum those days. But since government took over schools, things, in fact, I said in some quarters that the land that bred corruption in Nigeria is government take over our schools. My father is a retired teacher. Okay. He told me that in 1967, when he began to teach, it was the responsibility of the headmasters to pay salary. So headmasters go to the educational authority and carry money with their bags, come to school, and according to your records, whether or not you perform well, teachers will be paid. At the end of the month, they will carry the balance and return to government. Okay. Now, that doesn't make sense today. So I think that the politics has rather hindered to a great extent the mission of the church. If the government partners with the church in terms of education and other governmental policies, the nation will be better for it.
But they tell us also that the people that you see in church are in society, and if they're not good church people, then they mess up society. And also those people that become politicians and make these policies, they're also in society. And around here we have, fewer Muslims, we have more Christians, and yet we see that the decay is deep.
Well, there are two things here. I have just told you that most of those we have now as politicians, we are not trained by the mission. Up till now, you see, the world is not so bad that you do not have good people. Okay. Up till now, when you meet those who went through mission schools, when you meet them, their attitude to life, my father, by the grace of God, is still alive, he's 79. Okay, if you meet them, their attitude to life are not the same with those who left university. In fact, some of them were students' union activists. And as I speak with you, politics influence, even for you to become a students' union president, you have to belong to the party. Now, when that person leaves university, straight to councillor, straight to chairman of local government, what do you expect? So it's not about the church. It's about the kind of society we find ourselves. We don't have to generalize. The church is like a hospital for sinners. Okay, you can't. If a madman comes to the church and is not disturbing anybody, you don't drive him away. The church belongs to everybody. God is the father of both the sinners and the righteous. So we tend to generalize when we say that politicians also go to. Well, they should come to church. But the truth is, what kind of background? There is a saying. Forgive me to be a little crude here. There is a saying that if you take a goat and to the university, it will become a graduate goat. It will not become a graduate human being. So the foundation matters.
No, hold on. So if the church is a hospital like you claim, and they're taking goats there, can they treat them? Can they get better?
And there are so many. There are so many in church that have had the gospel and they have changed. As a bishop, and I can tell you, I follow up a lot of people. I relate to everybody, both high and low. There are people, when you are a teacher in the classroom, at the end of the session, you set your questions. You find out that somebody gets 10%, another person gets 80%. They were in the same class. Okay, you can. What's important is that the church is not relenting. We are doing everything we can to ensure that sound doctrine and discipline is part of our mission. We are not compromising it. Okay. But what somebody does out of what he learned is
So there's a matter of allowing politicians handle the microphone in churches. I don't know what it was like when you were a boy in the Anglican church, or maybe in the Catholic church, when we had those Orthodox, churches. I don't know what it was, but I don't know if it's a Pentecostal thing or it's a New Age thing. What are your thoughts on that? Because we've heard some of the most, disturbing remarks during some of those events.
You know that there is a relationship between the church and government. It's not about whether it's Orthodox or Pentecostal. Any church, the Bible says we should pray for our leaders. We have spiritual leaders, we have secular leaders, and they work together. And God is the ultimate leader. As a whether it's a Christian or Muslim institution, the leader should open his doors to anybody coming to the church. But when they have the opportunity to speak, what they say is they are responsible. The church is not responsible for what the politician says in church. But as for allowing him come to church, why not? It's biblical. The Bible enjoins us to do so. And it's a privilege for us to pray for him. Where you hold the church responsible is after he has spoken, what is the church's response? Or why he comes to church, what did the church tell the person? So if I see a politician and maybe changes my message because a politician is there, then you can blame me. But as for opening my doors to the politician, it's my responsibility, and then to pray for them. Sometimes we have had them come to speak, and the pastor takes microphone and makes a remark that tend to counter or tend to, prepare people's mind, kind of modify what they have said. So it is not the duty of the church. Your reaction to people's opinion about you is your responsibility. People's opinion about you is their own responsibility. If, for example, I call you a thief, okay, I am responsible. Everybody will be... See, the words are powerful. We are created in the image of God. Whatever you say, you will account before God. That is the truth. Okay? So if I say you are a thief, I am responsible for what I have said. Okay? But if you now, in response, kill me with a machete, you are also responsible for killing me. The court will not exonerate you because I called you a thief. Because there are normally... So the politician is responsible for what he has said.
And the people will not exonerate the church for allowing the politician have that platform to speak.
No. They have to. They have to, because the people should judge the church from the point of view of our ethics. Does the Bible permit the church to open their door for politicians? That's the issue.
Yeah,
That's
opening your door is one thing. Allowing them stand on the stage.
No. As for example, let me give an example. As a governor of a state or a president of a country, okay, now if there is independent service, I am under obligation to attend the service and pray for the government. Now, during that service, the service will not hold in government house. It will hold in the church. And the governor has time to speak. It's part of our routine. So on the course of that speech, the church is not responsible for what the president or vice president or the governor says. The governor himself is responsible. And they have reasons for what they want to say. And politicians, it's like businessmen. When a businessman comes to your house, it's your brother, it's your in-law, he comes for traditional marriage, he will find one way or the other to sell his market. Okay, so you don't blame them. The church is not responsible at all.